Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. This is Tommy the Tarot Reader and I have a special reading for you. It's a different kind of reading. I haven't done this reading before. It is for each sign and it is what do you need to know right now. So I'm going to pull a card for each sign. The first card, I'm going to read it intuitively. And then I will use the tarot after to clarify it. So the first card is Aries. If I'm going to pull one card and I'm going to read that card. So, and by the way, if you like my readings, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I will be doing more readings for you. The Knight of Pentacles. This card is very interesting because this card has an illustration of, they're like monstera plants on the horse, and she's dressed in flowers and a skirt with a hat. So she is heading somewhere. It looks kind of slowly because the horse is on a plant. And so with the plant, it's growing, but at this stage, it's already has a lot of leaves and the leaves are full. So this is telling me, based on this image, but with the Knight of Pentacles, if I were just to interpret it based on the Rider-Waite, there is something that you're slowly working on. There is no rush here. You are not worried about, you're not really worried about much. You know, you're not worried about money. You're not worried about, you're just not worried about a lot of things. You're taking it easy. Your life is probably at a good pace right now. I almost want to say you're kind of content, which is for some of you may not be great because maybe you need to get motivated, get some kind of fire lit under you so you could pick up some momentum. But in general, there is no urgency here. There is just this really nice leisurely pace where you feel supported and nurtured. And it's almost like you are confident of the path ahead, or you're at least secure where you are. This is not, of course, going to be for all of you, Aries. This is for some of you. And it's just like you don't really need to work too hard. Things are good. You're enjoying it. There is something you're working on. And do you need to work faster at it? Do you need to pick up the pace? I don't know. You know, we're going to do a tarot spread after this, but is there something you need to pick up the pace on? Is there something you need to decide a little quicker on? Because you know you do, but you're just kind of taking your time with it. There's no reason why you should decide on anything right now. And Aries, why is that? I feel like by next month, you're going to feel the urgency, all right? So if you've been way too relaxed about your life, you're going to feel an urgency next month. February. Why do I say that? Mars is in Capricorn. So, yeah. Pluto is in Aquarius. I don't believe the planetary aspects is going to support your wanting to chill out and just take it easy. The High Priestess is another card. I'm feeling, and the reason I did a second card for you, Aries, is I felt like there was something more that needs to be discovered in terms of what you need to know right now. Yes, you are honing in on your intuition and going into your gut instinct, going into your crown chakra, going into your third eye, and needing to sit and ask yourself some very important questions. Some existential questions like, what am I doing? What is the purpose of my life? What am I doing here? Who am I right now? Do I know who I am? Where am I going? What does my future look like? What do I want my life to look like? So the High Priestess it can see forward. And it can, but it's still determined by how strong it is that what you want. What do you want? If you don't know what you want, the High Priestess is saying, you're gonna take your time, because the Knight of Pentacles is here. And the High Priestess is saying, you're gonna need to take your time until you decide. Some of you might be living day to day and just kind of, rolling and drifting and coasting, even though things are going really, really well. So if your intuition is saying, like, this is good, I like it where I am, I'm content, that's what the cards are saying. Is there any area of your life that you need to make a decision on, or if you need to hustle and move a little faster? I'm going to pull some cards on that, because these two cards here alone are saying that you're not going to make a move on anything until the right time happens for you. So let's do, or maybe you don't know what to move on. Maybe nothing is so urgent that you have to move or decide on anything. That I don't know that what position you're in right now, how your life is right now. You're good with the situation. And the number 2 came up for the High Priestess. Once again, I do really believe that in February, you're going to need to decide on something. It's going to be fine, it's just you don't really want to be forced to decide on something. It's not necessarily that someone is forcing you or a job's forcing you or anything like that. It's just that maybe it hits you in February that it's time for you to transform, evolve, shift to another level of your life. That's all. It's part of growth. It's part of evolution. You can't be in this place for a while. Maybe you're now feeling stuck, right? So I'm going to set these cards over here, and I'm going to do a Celtic cross, and let's see what the Celtic cross says. And I am going to use the playing cards because it's really easy to read the playing cards. For me, it is. It gives a very straight up message for me to the higher realms, the universe. It's a very direct message. I love my tarot cards. I have a few, I love them, but like the playing cards is very clear. I'll just go ahead and do that. that. And again, wow, Five of Swords. Okay. Do you see that? That's the Celtic cross. So what do I see here? That you are conserving your money and your resources because it's a good idea too, and it's a good idea too towards your future, especially if you don't know what you're going to do with your life. So conserve your money, your resources. You are in a love relationship. This is where you are right now. You are working really, really hard. You've been working very hard regarding your career, your profession. Your goal is to make a lot of money so that you're secure to maybe explore your life, to travel and do whatever you want, you know. So you do know you have, in order to do that, you have to make a lot of money. You know that. With the Four of Swords here, okay, so you're going to have a lot of choices ahead of you, but ultimately it is the choices so you could have the freedom to do whatever you want, which means financial freedom. So you are very aware, because there's these pentacles here with the Ace of Pentacles, that your biggest, it's not the biggest, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say that you want to make sure that you have enough money to have the freedom to do whatever you want and continue to make a lot of money, because there's a lot of things you want to do and explore. And there's going to be a bit of conflict, and I'll tell you what that conflict is. You don't really want to work too hard. You work hard, but sometimes you just don't want to work too hard, and it's really hard to admit that to yourself, that I hate working this hard. Sometimes you just want to do nothing, and your tendency to want to do nothing is, with the Knight of Pentacles, is exactly that, the tendency to want to do nothing. What do you need to know right now? You can't do nothing. So for you to have the life of freedom and exploration, which will require a certain amount of money, you need to work at that and create the kind of future you want. You need to actually plan that right now. You cannot be lackadaisical with that. You have to plan your future right now. If you said, I want to have enough money so that I have passive income so I can travel around the world and not worry about money, or that my business takes off in 3 years so I can go and do this expedition and live in Europe for 6 months. Like, you want that kind of freedom, but that kind of freedom is going to require money. So you do need right now to create, to bank that. You need to fund that kind of life of freedom that you want. And that is very important. That's what the Celtic cross here is telling me, because you have the Four of Swords and the Five of Swords. Because what you don't want, is to have regrets that you should have done this, you should have done that. Why didn't you? Don't want that. You also don't want to turn to people to rely on because your plans didn't go through, because you didn't plan well. And now you're running around trying to figure out last minute things. You don't want that with the Ace of Pentacles in that position with the Five of Swords there. You don't want that. You have a lot of friends. You're going to make more friends. Friends are really important to you. But with the two fours here, you do have to establish security and stability and plan You might have to work really hard right now, and you might have to pick up your pace. That's what the universe is telling you. You need to pick up your pace. You cannot be complacent. You cannot take things for granted. You have to know what your future looks like. You can't live in the moment and just wing it. The cards are telling you you have the potential to do really well so that you could live the full life that you want. If you're in the state of contentment where you're telling yourself, I don't need a full life. I just need to watch TV all day and just be scrolling on my phone and eating crap all day. I don't see that here. I don't see that here. But if that's what you're doing right now and you think you're going to be successful, I see that's what the Five of Swords is saying. It won't end well with the Five of Swords. So you do have to figure out your life right now and really go at it. There's a lot of focus on money here. So what do you need to know right now? Focus on money. Focus on creating the kind of life you want and having the wealth you need so that you can have the life you want. Okay? That's for Aries. Let's move on to Taurus. So, what do you need right now, Taurus? What do you need to know right now, Taurus? So hard to shuffle. What do you need to know right now, Taurus? What do you need to know right now, Taurus? I'm not reading reversals. I don't want to. The Hermit came up reverse. I'm not going to read it reverse. I'm going to read it like this, okay? With this, it's like, okay, if I read it reverse, you are coming out of some kind of prolonged isolation. Whatever put you in some kind of isolation, with it reverse, you're coming out of it. But since I've already decided before I did the readings today that I'm not reading reversals, I'm going to tell you that it's a forced coming out of a prolonged isolation. You don't want to come out of it. That's how I see that. It's not that the isolation is bad, it's just too hard to deal with everything outside of it. Because once you come back into the real world, all the problems are still there. So you'd rather go back into this place where the isolation to me says, I'm doing stuff in here, if I'm doing stuff, like, this is a really good card for the Hermit. They're not in isolation. They are looking from a higher place of perspective. They're looking down and evaluating and keeping track of what's going on around them. They are up there with birds. They're tapping into their higher wisdom. Are they fishing? They're fishing into the sunlight or the moonlight. I love that. And they're looking down, they're looking and checking out what's going on down there. Exactly. You don't have to go down there unless you want to. No one can force you to go down there and deal with the problems. No one can force you to go down there and fix any problems. That's not your job. You decide what you want to do, Taurus. You can stay up there and fish and just keep looking at everyone. Because honestly, Taurus, people can figure it out for themselves. Let them figure it out for themselves. Just watch, because everything, it may or may not work out. But, from where you're sitting and from where you're looking, some of you, whatever problems you have, and I need to pull more cards out, but what do you need to know right now? You need to stay away from everyone else's problems. That's what you need to know right now. You need just to objectively just, I don't know, just scan it. You don't have to have an opinion, a feeling, nothing. Just watch and look at it and have. I hope for some of you that these problems. I mean, she's sitting on a tower with the earth. The earth has been around forever, for a long time. So what I'm talking about is whatever you're looking down at, these problems have been around for a long time. You're not gonna just fix it. And you know that. Just sit up there and just watch and let it play out on its own. You are at a place of knowing you have no power over it, but I don't see you wanting power over it. I just see you just chilling and fishing, moonlight, sunlight, be up there with the birds. I see you in a really beautiful place where you're in union with things that are like the universe or nature or things that nurture you, like the spiritual divine entities like angels. And if you believe in God, and whatever your beliefs are, I think you're tapping into your spiritual practices and all the beautiful creative and pursuits and just enjoying your life that way. Staying out of problems. What do you need to know right now? Stay out of problems. Stay out of other people's problems. Just stay to yourself and take care of your stuff. That's what the universe is. That's what you need to know right now. Just observe, stay out of all of the problems. Just stay in your stuff. Six of Cups, yeah. Just stay in your stuff. Things are going to come in from the past. These are nurturing relationships, though. These are people that are healthy for you. These are people who get along with people. These are people who are kind. They're supposed to come in because in some way you asked for these types of nurturing relationships to come in. Or maybe the universe is saying you need these people to come back in who love you and care for you. When you got people around you who just love hanging out with you and they just want to talk to you and just be with you, that's what's happening right now. What do you need to know right now? Those people are in your life. The people who love you and care for you and want to be with you. They're here. You can hang out with them. So part of you fishing into the sun and the moon and where you are is to hang out with the people who love you and care for you, and that you need to recognize who those people are. How to recognize them is how you're feeling. Do you feel good around these people? Do you feel like you could just hang out and be yourself and they appreciate you and love you just for being yourself? That's the space you want to be in. Taurus, just hang out and be yourself. You don't have to go in and fix anything. You don't have to help someone feel better or you don't have to do any of that. You just just take care of you, take care of how you're feeling, take care of the people you love. And the right people are in your life. And this is saying you need to recognize people in your life who love you and care for you, not the people who want something from you. Not that. The universe is saying you need to attend to healthy living by attending to you, attending to the people who love and care for you and want to be with you and hang out with you because they're good friends, and not attend to I think you're past it, where you feel like your worth is tied into fixing problems and rescuing people. I think you're past it. I hope you are, because the cards tell me you're past that. Now you have to take care of yourself and just relax. Do things that you enjoy. Start to discover like, I'm going to say soul and spirit, that you need to connect with that. And some of you are going to go, what's that? Right. Exactly. What is that? So those are things that bring fulfillment and joy in your life and appreciation. With the Six of Cups here, if you're saying, what's that? There's going to be someone or some people from your past that comes in and helps you to recognize, what is that? What is my beautiful soul and spirit that I need to connect with? If you need to connect with it, some of you are already probably connecting with it, but there's going to be people coming in to help you connect with that. Okay? So let's look at your Celtic cross. Okay? Let's pull some tarot. The Celtic cross. Celtic cross. Taurus. Yeah, Taurus. If you stay on your path of the Hermit with the Four of Cups here, which to me is the same card, stay on exactly what I just said earlier. The cards are confirming what I said. With the Four of Cups, it's the Hermit position, that you are in a state of evaluating, observing, not doing what you used to do in the past, rescuing, caretaking, providing, feeling responsible, taking care of everyone else but yourself. You can't do that any longer. The Four of Cups here is saying that you need to focus on yourself. With the Eight of Wands and the Seven of Wands, Eight of Coins, the Eight of Wands to me, with the Seven of Wands, you have had to work really hard to get to this place where you can't take care of people anymore. It's not your job. They can take care of themselves. You need to take care of yourself. And watch. The Eight of Wands is, there's going to be some fast communication, because you're trying to live in a healthy world and not get pulled into any toxicity here. That's how I do see this. And so you've been doing this for a while. There's going to be some communication, and hopefully for you that it's going to get better and better. The communication coming in possibly is very good. That you are moving on to something bigger in your life, where it's just a promotion, more money. There's definitely more money here. Definitely. So if you stay in this place where you take care of what you need to take care of and stop taking care of other people and worrying about them, you will come into a really great place of the King of Pentacles. The money's coming in. You're going to get recognition. You have the Nine of Pentacles here, the more money. No one needs to know you're making more money. No one needs to know you got a promotion. No one needs to know how successful you are. There's going to be maybe something where you might have to prove that you deserve this promotion. You just have to prove it. You'll get it, but you need to prove it. And because of that Five of Swords, you also have the Five of Coins here. So those two fives here tell me you're going to need to prove that you're going to need to work hard, really hard, to show, like, I want this, I am worthy of it, whatever that is, and you'll get it. whatever that thing is you want. Also, the Five of Swords with the Five of Coins, do not let anyone come in who wants to argue with you. You have to recognize that right away. You cannot give your time away with people who want to argue with you and start problems. You need to keep that away, because you need to focus on what you need to do to build a very financially healthy, loving, successful life. It's right here. You can't be giving time and money away. You just can't. You can't afford it. You got too much to lose when you make bad decisions, like you feel obligated to take care of people. You feel obligated to defend yourself. You feel you have to talk to people who you can't. You have to eliminate that completely in order for you to have your Nine of Coins, the Six of Wands, and the King of Coins, because it's right there. You're going to work really hard and just focus on whatever it is you're doing in terms of professionally, because professionally you're working at something that's you're doing a great job. Keep at it. That's what you need to focus on. And in order for you to succeed in that, you do need to be on top of that tower and away from everyone. On top of that tower and away from everyone. Away from all the troubles and problems that's not yours. And just focus on how to fly with the birds up there. How do you fish? It's just such a beautiful place because it's so mystical. And people will look at it and go, that's nonsense. How do you get anything done from up there? You get a lot done up there. That's where you do all your planning. Away from all the noise. Do your planning. And know you are capable of whatever you put your mind on. But you have to focus on it. You cannot get distracted. Okay? And that is what you need to know right now, Taurus. So I'm going to do the rest of the signs in another video. Okay?